What's happening? Big Shay reporting for duty. Welcoming you back to another episode of the Yellow Cafe podcast. And today is story time. Story time. Let me see. Story time. Story time. All right. Coincidentally, the subject that I want to speak about today, or at least who is another participant of this story, it just so happens to be his birthday today as well. I had this story, to be honest, in the queue of things that I wanted to talk about. And being that I woke up this morning, saw that it was his birthday, I said, let's push it up and let's do it today just for sentimental value. You feel me? So, pretty much, let's take it back to, man, what year is this? We have to go back to, all right, 14, 15, 16, 17. Man, I'm getting old, all right? 20 years ago, we're going to do them. Hold on, I'm just doing some math in my head. I'm getting old. 20. It's a shame to say it. So this literally has to be 2005, if I'm 17. 2004, 2005. I don't know. Listen, what I can tell you for sure is diplomatic immunity was out by then. I can tell you that much. Diplomatic Immunity Volume 1 was most definitely out by this time. Now listen, you may hear me, I want to get something straight, something clear. You may hear me reference a lot of music in some of my videos. It's not because I still listen to this music, still enjoy this music, still agree with this music, but it is a reality and part of my life and my upbringing, as I know a lot of you all have the same history. But you couldn't tell me growing up during my high school years that I wasn't Killer Cam. You feel me? Joel Santana as well. Joel Santana came through with a wave, with a buzz, with an era. What Cam came through, and I'm gonna talk a little music right here. No, this is not a hip hop channel. I'm not even gonna get into how much against the idea and the name of hip hop I'm against right now. I don't want to get off track, but I just don't want to mislead anyone either. But I want to be open. I want to be real. I want to be open. Pause. I want to be real though. Be vulnerable. And just allow myself to relate to those, because I know people can relate to this. But the era that Cam had when he came out, was that my 10th grade year? 14. Man, I may have been 15 or 16 years old. It really doesn't matter. But between 15 to 17 years old, like I was probably like 15 or 16 when Old Boy dropped. Diplomatic Immunity and all that came out after that. Let me get to the story. I'm trying to set the mood, but I'm relapsing on a slick. But you couldn't tell me I wasn't Cam. What I mean by that is the disrespect I had for women, how I treated women, the value or lack thereof that I found in women. At that point, no woman could give me advice, quote unquote, even talk to me, even tell me anything. They had one purpose to me, which was a purpose in which they would fulfill self-worship that I had a desire for. I still, to this day, try to dig into, what went wrong in my mind in terms of why I felt it so easy and second nature to disrespect women. And I know music had a major part to play in that, because music, rap music, showed me individuals who were disrespecting women, using them for their sole pleasure and discarding them. And I was able to see people who were actually doing that. Because see, you don't believe certain things could be, unless you are a trailblazer or genius, you only do what you've seen done. Once you see other people do certain things, it gives you ideas of what can actually be done or can be pulled off. So for me to see the way that rappers and, like I say, especially Dipset and Cameron handled women and talked about women, it's like that gave me an idea that it could be done like this. And I literally went on a rampage, bro, through high school of how did this go? I want to kind of say this in chronological order of what took place. I want to say this in chronological order of what took place. I don't know what or why I was tripping. In terms of just relationships or what I found myself doing, I believe that, okay, I hurt someone. I hurt a young lady who I really was at the time what we call wifing. I was wifing her. I was cuffing her. I'm talking about young. We teenagers. I'm wifing her. But for some reason, Cam doesn't wife women. So I can't wife her. So I'm handling her bad. And I'm talking about she's jocked out. Jocked out, you know what I'm saying? If you from where I'm from, you know what that means. You get what I'm saying? She's jocked out. She's all in. She likes me. But I'm just handling her bad, slamming her. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Just, handle her bad. Later on in life, I see her again once we meet back up in high school. Because at this point, it was like my first year in high school, her last year before she goes to high school. We young. We like 14, 13, something, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. By the time I see her in high school, because she done probably went to another school somewhere first, then all of a sudden pop back up and go to my high school, and I'm looking like, man, I wanted her. Let's be real. Let's be real. I wanted her. And it was not happening. It was not happening. She wasn't going for it. And she had every right to not go for it. And it stressed me on some real light skin. See, I would see with a lot of people from my neighborhood. I ain't gonna say a lot of people, but one dude in particular. I'm gonna have to talk to him one day, get him on here. But I was on some Drake type stuff before Drake. You feel me? That's bad to say. You get what I'm saying? Especially nowadays, after the past few months. But just meaning like, I'll come through playing the oldies. You feel me? I listen to rap music, but as a youngster, 13, 14, 15, I spin the block bumping oldies, bumping Al Green, like, and that's what they call Drake. Like, that's why he called me Drake. Like, cause I'll be on R&B type stuff. I used to like the sample type beats with Kanye type stuff. Like, I was always into the oldies. And, slick side singing. I never did sing. I wished I could, but it wasn't until later on, especially with auto-tune and things like that, that I was able to really, like, carry out some things musically that I wanted to do. But just for the effect of having the affinity and liking of R&B music and oldies music, that's what they call being like Drake. Nothing else. Not a thing else. You feel me? But see, I done forgot my point, trying to stress how much I wasn't like Drake, like Drake. I don't know, but I'll say, oh, because I was in my feelings about not being able to get back with this particular young lady at this time. I stressed about it, stressed about it, stressed about it, stressed about it. I remember, because while I was stressing about it, one of my partners was stressing about a young lady that he couldn't get back. That he had, I don't know what it was, but he was stressing over a young lady, and I was stressing over a young lady, and we was stressing together. You know what I'm saying? And this wasn't even no other light skinned brother. He was dark skinned. You feel me? It's just young coming up. Every man go through it. You feel me? Yeah, if I was just sitting around and just stressing about women with nothing but other light skinned dudes is just crazy. That's not what I was doing. But now, me and my partner, we went through it, and after that, we both together went through a stage of just like disrespecting women. Just making sure that we never felt like that again. Even though, I forget what his scenario was, but for me, how selfish is that when I'm the one who issued out the negative treatment in the first place? That's crazy. Listen, all this is leading up to the story. I promise. I'm just trying to let you know where my head is at this point. I'm just running through women. And when I say that, I'm just talking about in terms of just not respect, no intention of settling down. Just, this is the culture. The culture that I'm being fed with my peers, where I'm at, coming from the front of Woodmill. It's a numbers game. You're gonna rep on your numbers. It's like playing basketball. How many points did you have tonight? You know what I mean? Bro, I just think about some of the days of just running wild, just doing some of the things that we did, and then just putting ourselves in some of the situations that we did with young girls, older women. We were taught that. That was our world. In our little world, that's what you did. And so I can remember walking on the block one day. I want to say I'm like 17. I don't know why 17 sticks in my head at this point. But I can remember walking onto the block. I never forget where this took place. This took place on Longleaf. And I'm up there just running my mouth, thinking that I'm just really saying something fire. You know what I mean? Just talking about how all women ain't nothing. I don't trust nothing. No women ought to be trusted. I'll never wife nothing. Yada yada yada. Woo woo woo. And I never forget. Here's where the birthday man comes in. Rock. There's two rocks where we from. I'm talking about St. Clair. St. Clair. Shout out to the other rock. Shout out to the boxer. Shout out to Garrett. Shout out to him. But I'm talking about St. Clair. It's his birthday today as well. It may not be his birthday the day that this drops, but the day that this was recorded, it's his birthday. So shout out to you, big brother. Happy birthday to you. You feel me? But I never forget. Rock is out there. He probably remembers this because we probably spoke on this years later after it happened. Man, Rock cut me off. Rock said, man, you tripping. Like, what you mean I'm tripping? He was like, they have good women out here. I don't remember word for word what he said, but it was enough to where I know he combated what I said. He combated the theory that I was promoting and preaching that day. That it was enough for me to remember that. And I remember going back and forth, but then stopping. No, ain't no probably. Then stopping because it hit me just like what he's saying is probably real. But I think about who I was as a young man at that point in time. I didn't deserve a real woman. I wouldn't have known a real woman if she slapped me in the face. But I never forgot that moving forward, because I found that woman. And I don't like to speak about my wife, because if I were to speak about my wife, it really would seem as though I just was simping. Because I have absolutely nothing but great and good things to say about her. She's a woman who's shown me that there's so much that a woman can teach you. She's a woman who has assumed the help meet role, the help meet position, in a manner that is just flawless, seamless. But so many, see, I speak a lot to women about what they ought to be as women in order to be wifey material, and submission, and things about knowing your place, knowing your role. Some women hate how that sounds. If you hate how that sounds, you have a problem already. But some women hate how that sounds, how that comes off. But I do understand that there are many men who are not worth that submission at all. There are many men that you better not submit yourself to, that don't have anywhere to lead you. I understand that. But you just need to take it on back. Stop giving your body to these men. Stop giving your time to these men. Stop giving your conversations to these men. And I know some men are looking at me like, blah, blah, blah. But dog, I don't have any time for you, bro. I got daughters. I got nieces. And even before I had those things, I came to the realization of the nonsense in the bubblegum game that I was spitting. It's like, what are you doing? We're not building families. We're celebrating babies. We're not celebrating marriages. We're not celebrating unions. I appreciate those words. And as a big brother at that point in time, because see, one thing I do love and respect so much about my neighborhood, where I come from, we just had a sense of hierarchy, to say the least. Everyone was respected, even the youngins. Like the level where I resided at this point in time was, I mean, we were probably second from the bottom. You had the little kids, then you had us, the teenagers. But we were respected for, the nonsense that we were capable of, or whatever we got into, woo. But then those above us, we respected as big brother. We've been calling each other that from where I'm from. Big brother, big brother, big brother. You understand? And we respected and listened to the older generation. We really did. In our music, we respected them. In our actions, we respected them. In our conversations, we respected them. There was a hierarchy of them really like taking us under their wing and being proud of us. Being proud that we were a younger generation repping the neighborhood that they were from. That was enough. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of love in the midst of the foolishness and the activities that we're involved with. There's a lot of good people that have no business being involved in some of these things. They have great hearts, good hearts. But we're just taught these things that we do as wrong as second nature. I mean, there's so many dudes I wish I could reach out to right now and show love to. I don't even remember their name. I don't even know their name. Just know their face. But that showed me that type of love coming up where I'm from. But I really do appreciate Sinclair, Rock. And see, Rock was automatically, when he spoke, Rock was in that upper echelon class, like he was in the class above me, of hierarchy in terms of, just neighborhood politics. You feel me? So when he spoke what he spoke, I chimed back, just being, who I am, who I was, But there still was a sense of hearing what he said, letting him have the last word, and just being like, all right, big brother, all right. But those words stuck with me. They really did. And that just goes to another point about the importance of men being in children's lives. Even if it's not a man who is fully involved in the Bible, you would hope that it is. You would hope that it's a Christian man who's fully involved in the Bible, but just even a regular man who's just experienced things and seen life can tell children about life. That's what I was at that point, just a child, just talking crazy, talking like I'm Killer Cam. On the block, full of that irk and jerk, 90 degrees, probably in the middle of the summer, just talking crazy. And he shut it down. Blue Top, VSOP. That's how I was coming. But I just respect that. Every time I see him, every time I come across his picture on Facebook or anything, I just think of that moment. And listen, you don't know what moments stick out to other people from you. So always be somebody to be remembered in a good way, because you don't remember what people are remembering. You feel me? Be someone of knowledge. Be someone of substance. But yeah, man. I just wanted to speak on that, and just I had to get that on wax. I had to give him his props for that wisdom at that early age that I never forgot. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it until I saw it manifested. And it's only right that there are great women out here, but you have to become a great man first. That's when my eyes were open to see, oh, okay. But I appreciate you for that, most definitely. I love you, and happy birthday again, Mr. Sinclair Scott. You understand me? 1.